Take a moment. Live. Okay. And I'll look at my account to make sure it's working. Live. Yes. Okay. That looks good to me. Okay. Okay. That should be good. I'm gonna just gonna this go for a minute and then just see if people trickle in or whatnot. Actually, I should post it on Twitter that I'm streaming now. That would make sense, I think. Oh, go on this. Post. We'll do this post. And YouTube. I'll put this. Is that the correct one? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, got these things. I hear myself? Ew. Sorry, I'm away from the camera for a moment because I am making a coffee for myself. Nah, I won't put that in there. I don't need it. I was thinking about it, but no. There's not much going on at the moment. I'm just getting myself a drink. I should have got it prepared beforehand, but whatever. Womp 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 womp. It's hot. See. I might do that actually. I'm gonna on my profile. Click this. Copy. Do this. Okay. Ah. Probably gonna be listening to some things. I'll put this on. I don't know if you'll hear it. Let's test that. Nope. Alright, I can listen to what I want while a hobby then. Alright, so today I'm going to be painting some Chaos Cultist. I got a fair amount that I need to get painted. I'm doing this for a friend, mostly. I just really like the 3D prints that he's got here. They're pretty neat, I think. But I'm going to be drinking some coffee at the moment before I get started. Coughing. Alright, get that ready. What paint do I want to start with first? I'm thinking probably metal. Yeah, there's a lot of metal bits on these guys. Like, just, I don't know, you just look at that. There's so many little metal bits, like there. Yeah, I think that would be the best one. So, let me get my beloved Lead Belcher. Love this metal color. Right. this stuff out of the way. Put this here. Where did I just put that? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Do. Keep streaming. Let's see. Let's see. Man, what is wrong with this right now? Man, there's so many little chains on this model, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, look at that. It's ridiculous. frankly. Get up for a second. Oh yeah, I missed a spot. I need to do that backpack thing right there. And I think that's decent. Alright, next one. do 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 do. Mm-hmm. Ugh. Ugh. I still got some southern pollen in my nose. Something is wrong with the south. Why is it so, the air so low quality? What are they doing down there? Leadbelcher. In your stream. When are you gonna have a bride napping stream? So true. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, thing got stuck to my finger. Do, 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 do. La 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 la. Take a look at this. Oh wow. Let's see. It's doing the stupid error message again. Come on. Let me see here. Go on here. Let's see. Okay, that's one good. How many did I get through? Got 3. Get a few more. This one. Yeah, how do I want to do? Let's see. See if that works. I don't hear anything on here. Hello? Okay, yeah. Curious, can they... Where are you at right now? Oh, okay. I'm gonna see if... Is that... Okay, I just put that on. That should do it. I'm in Norway. Are you good on your computer right now? I think that's what he said. Let's see. Okay, I think that's what he's doing. Alright, alright, alright. It's kinda hot in here for some reason. Alright, so for people who are paying attention in the chat, pencil for scale? Um, there you go. Like that. This is the finished product, basically, that I'm trying to get to for these guys. He fell over. This is the finished. I keep doing that. I stop. This is the finished product, basically. Get pinged. Check on this. Consume the shroom, neurogenesis, and stabilize your hand. Well, you see, years ago, the reason why my hands are shaky, well, the right one doesn't have much of an excuse. The left one does. Uh, I fell out of an airplane, and that's bad for you. So my left side is kind of neurologically damaged. So that's why my left hand can be shaky. My right side kind of in general. So like I don't my left side is just genuinely not stable for that reason. My right hand's generally fine. It's probably a little shaky because I had a coffee just a second ago. So that's why that's like that. Oh, okay. Hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
Sorry, I just kind of had the boomer.
Haha. uh, do you hear your voice on stream?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
okay.
Well, no, I don't. Well, I haven't loaded up the stream yet, but
Hold on.
I bet
I'm
that's
gonna
gonna be
see.
I bet that's gonna be
It's
eerie to
going.
Yeah, here I'm gonna fire that.
Haha. uh, do you hear your voice on stream?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
okay. Okay. I do hear your voice, so that sounds like that's working. I might
Oh,
increase your volume though, actually. You're a little quiet. But for the 2
oh.
people on stream, this is my trusted friend, Monkey.
Yes. I mean, we're both kind of niche micro celebrities.
That's true. That's true. So true, King.
Yeah, niche micro celebrities. Meaning about 15 people.
He's our resident Texan.
Indeed.
True, true.
DFW. Yeah,
DFW?
because Texas is basically 4 states, so
Oh,
you
that's
always kinda,
true,
you do kind of have
true.
to specify, right? Because like being from like El Paso is very different from being from like Houston.
uh, I didn't just realize I sort of doxed you, but it seems like you're fine with that.
No, I'm entirely fine with that. I'm from Granbury, Texas.
Oh my gosh, he
Specifically.
just keeps going. Here's your social security number.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't know, to the two people that are listening, and it might be us, for all I know. Yeah, I mean, I've doxed myself many a times on the Discord server, so there's probably about like, you know, 30 strangers that know where I live. So, you know, as it hasn't ended disastrously for me yet. So,
But yeah, I'm not really doing too much right now. I'm just doing some hobbying that I've been meaning to do. I figured I'll just stream it. It's on YouTube and Twitter at the moment.
oh really?
Yeah, I
No
figured out a way
kidding.
to dual stream.
Yeah, I mean, I've like kind of known people that are able to do that. I mean, it's like um it's like a Razor Fist, like a guy that I follow all the time. He somehow like streams it
That's not
on
working.
like on like 5 different platforms at once, and I don't even really know how you do that.
Um, at least on OBS, there's a plugin, and that's what I'm
Hmm.
using. It was actually pretty easy to figure it out. Seems like it's working too. But yeah,
Very
this is
nice.
the finished product. It probably will take a second for it to see it on stream. You kind of already see it.
It hasn't ended disastrously for me yet, so. Oh my god, that's what I sound like. I don't like that at all.
Oh man, it's like
I just
that.
never.
Never speak again.
I
Permanent
know.
anon.
It just I just kind of go like, man, people are just tolerating that. like, I wish people would just tell me to shut the fuck up more if I like sound like that. you know. But
True.
I guess that's kind of how it always works: is that you hate the sound of your own voice.
That is true, actually. It's a phenomenon. Wide phenomenon. Yeah, I'm just painting these cultists evil. Evil.
Well, we have a guy in Norway. I don't know if he's from Norway, but he's just in Norway, is what he said.
He is the Norway.
Yeah.
They made a whole country named after Norwood. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, they kind of made like an entire country like look like a snow globe too.
Which one's that?
Just a tad.
Iceland?
Uh, basically every Scandinavian country. It's just it's like when you have like the little like village inside of the snow globe. That's just basically just Norway the entire way through, or at least that's what I assume. I've never been there, but
I love the meme around it because in Norway equals Mossad. What?
I don't know what I don't know what that means, but go off, King.
I was thinking a meme where they'll have like all these songs, like these metal songs, but like they
Yeah.
live in the nicest, most idyllic village possible.
Oh yeah, like
I
that's
love that.
exactly how that
I love
works.
that.
Yeah, like black metal originated in Norway. And it's like if you know anything about black metal, it's about like evil and the devil and blast beats and hellfire, but it's just like look around like the place that they grew up in and it's like literally the nicest place ever. It's like it's just I don't know. It almost kind of speaks to kind of a primordial human impulse to like have struggle in some way or another. And I guess if you live in Norway, there's not really that much struggle to go around. So you need to kind of you kind of have to find it
And then there's
somewhere.
like the opposite of that, where you'll take somewhere like Puerto Rico, and they will be singing like songs about not depression or anything. They'll be singing songs about how life is great and beautiful or something.
Oh, pretty much. That's
It's
like well, that's
interesting.
like yeah, it's kind of like every single third world country ever. It's like every country in Africa is like that, where it's like they just sing, sing songs about how like everything is great and wonderful, right? But if it's like in Scandinavia, it's like they're all metal bands, which I like to go to. I like to go to Scandinavia. I mean, because of course I'm a diehard metal fan, and I always have been. So I feel like that would be like almost like a holy pilgrimage for me, is just being able to kind of see like the place where a lot of my favorite bands are from.
I'd love to go to
Especially,
I think like Denmark or Sweden. Norway would be cool too, of
absolutely.
course.
I'd like to go to all of them, but I feel like I would really like to go to Sweden.
It's the biggest one. I suppose there's more
Yeah, I guess there's
sights there.
kind of more to see, I guess. I mean, but obviously Finland would be amazing. Denmark would be amazing.
Finland, we're talking about Asia now?
Yeah, we're just talking about Mongolians.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Finland has the highest number of metal bands per capita than any other place in the world.
I thought that would be Sweden.
Sweden is up there.
I'm sure.
They're like I mean, they're like number two, right? But Finland is like you know,
Mm.
Sweden has more rocks to look at. I believe it.
There's no black
Absolutely
people
believe
in
it.
Norway.
Except in Oslo, apparently. Which I'd believe that.
It seems to be the plight of any um Western center, like cities and whatnot.
Yeah, that's kind of just inevitably where they end up, right? And maybe they'll get to other places later, but that's kind of like that's almost like kind of their spawning point. Right, right?
That's where the capital is. It's where the Gibbs are. You know.
I mean, yeah, basically the same thing in New York City. It's like,
Yeah, it's I'm
you stay in the
yeah.
place that's just gonna give you the most free shit, right?
Yes,
Or
yeah.
if you gotta go to like rural Nebraska, it's like people are not like super people are not really gonna just hand out stuff.
Not through
Well, I
tax,
mean, you'll get
not through taxes.
no. I mean,
Charity.
like no, it's like you would have to like actually like engage with your community, and that's just not something you know.
That's not
a lot of
something Gibbs are gonna do. Nope.
no, not really. No, I mean, kind of people in like the rural parts of the country are actually exceedingly generous, all things considered, right? It just kind of takes on a different form, and they don't kind of, you know, offshore it over to kind of like an impersonal bureaucracy where,
Yeah, no, it's
right?
personal connections and whatnot, and
Yeah,
it's not stolen and then given away.
yeah,
Like you said, there's some personal interaction there. Like, oh, well, I know you. You're this one's kid or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like that actually is like kind of the most compelling argument against like kind of like massive welfare states is that it is just not even really like so much like need in regards to that, but it's almost just kind of like eliminating a lot of personal connections that probably ought to exist but are kind of being squandered.
I think an issue with it, some of it is just literally numbers. Like, you can have a welfare system in a country of 5 million Danish Protestants. Um,
Yeah.
as long as you close the borders and keep everyone out, like that can work. It could be fine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
When as soon
Well, I
as,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of like basically any system, right? Is that it's like, hey, if you don't like, if you kind of have like a high IQ population that knows how to like, interact with each other in a way that isn't fundamentally retarded, right? then you can kind of make
uh,
any system work, really.
that's kind of true. Like almost any system can work with a high enough trust group of people,
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah,
and small
yeah,
enough as
basically,
well. That's
yeah,
why there's so many
basically,
communes that have existed throughout history.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yep, essentially. It's like if you have a high trust, well, it's like in Scandinavia. It's like if you have like a high trust society, a very high social cohesion, right? I mean, you'll probably just pay the extra taxes without ever really complaining because you basically trust everybody around you. And it's like, and it's like it might be like weird for Americans to think about, but that's actually how we used to be ourselves, right? It's like you kind of like look in like the 80s or the 70s, right? I mean, it's like the actual like trust that like a lot of Americans had in their institutions was actually like significantly higher than it is now by like a lot. I
Yeah,
think I remember seeing surveys like that.
like boomers abused it, destroyed it, and now we don't have those things anymore.
Oh, what can you do? What can you do?
It's not much. Nope, it's not much.
Ah, but Norway is Mossad.
I don't know how to make. I don't know what to make of that statement.
Just think hard enough.
It's one of the
It's
statements
just,
of all time.
like you could, yeah, it's kind of one of those statements of all time.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, you being in the military and whatnot. I mean, you traveled to more places in the world than I have.
Yeah, back
That's
active
it is.
duty days especially.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love, man, I love like you discussing like Qatar, right? Because it's like I feel like that was actually like a really interesting kind of like insight into a country that I will definitely never visit.
It was Kuwait.
Oh, it's Kuwait. Okay,
Yeah, it
well,
really opened
well,
my
same
eyes
thing.
regarding the third world. Like, like one aspect that we care so much about in the West, and some people kind of, I think, poo-poo on it, for a lack of a proper term.
Environmentalism.
Yeah, is
Is that what you're
environmentalism.
gonna?
That's what I was getting to.
Absolutely.
But like,
Absolutely.
the only people who care about environmentalism is unironically just Western people. Like,
Yeah. And the Japanese, basically like any kind of high IQ population,
yeah, like
right? Right.
other people just don't care at all about it.
Well, I think one thing I'll definitely confirm is that, of course, you already know that I'm like a vegan, right? But
Yeah.
well, yeah, and a lot of veganism does actually stem from like kind of like environmental, ecological reasons. And funny enough, basically every vegan that you'll meet is also white. So that's just kind of
it
kind of that more or less that's kind of how
it's
how
like
that shakes
this
out,
care
right?
for something that's not in your immediate circle of existence that just doesn't exist in other cultures as much. Like, there's exceptions,
Yeah.
but generally, like, no, it's really only us that even care in the first place. Look at India, look at China, and all their pollution levels, and it's utterly horrific. But we're the ones who pay the brunt for it because we care and they
Well,
don't.
oh yeah, and then we just assume that they're they're all like us, and like they all care. It's just kind of like systemic oppression or whatever that causes like India to just throw water bottles into the river Ganges, right? Right, but it's like but trash into the river, they're not thinking about it again.
Oh, you cut out
Yeah,
for a
because it's
second
like it
there.
doesn't like a
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but I guess you kind of get the memo of what I'm saying, right? Is that it's like, it's out of sight, out of mind with a lot of these people. It's like you just, you throw trash on the side of the ground and then you don't see the trash again. So it effectively doesn't exist. It just kind of despawns out of your, out of existence.
Somewhat, yeah. Like, a lot of it's kinship networks and the West's uh, obsession with getting rid of what was it, incest taboos and stuff.
Yeah. Or, well, I kind of feel like an India specific case because I don't know if I mean I don't think they don't have as many problems as incest as Pakistan does. Yeah, just because of like the clan structure there. But I feel like even just the caste system kind of just permanently relegates your society to like just perpetual third world status. Is that it's just fundamentally not a good system to run your country under. Right, but it's like deeply embedded into the culture and the religion. So it's like what can you really do?
Well, like, I think a way to kind of think of it with that is we intentionally spect towards going against incest. They intentionally went towards incest. If you think about it,
Yeah.
Islamic world
Well,
as well.
well, man, man. A lot of it's like not even necessarily like kind of about that as much as it's just keeping money within the family, and that's the reason why they intentionally do incest. Right?
Something,
It's like
yeah.
it's like kind of like the way that like a lot of the kind of
I
matrilineal
think
lines
that's enough
work. I
metal.
mean, it's like if they kind of marry somebody that isn't like a cousin, then that's like money that could be like dispersed into like other family groups, and that's just and that's just kind of not okay
Yeah,
with a lot of
there's
things.
a
So,
lot of
so, like,
levels with
so
this as well. Like, it was something that England, compared to the Ottomans, was able to levy in terms of resources, like upwards of 16 to 20% of its nation because of high
yeah,
trust systems. Well, like the Ottomans, because they have to go through a bunch of clans and the money goes through multiple uh like clan structures, like I was saying, before it even gets to the capital, in Constantinople or Constantinople in
Absolutely.
Istanbul. And so they were only
Absolutely.
actually able to levy like 5% of their nation at a time, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, if you have
kind of
like,
interesting
if
around
it's
that.
like if you have like 3 clans that are on board, there's gonna be like 15 that aren't on board because they all hate those clans, or hate one of the three that just mobilized. I could definitely see that happening too.
That's kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of why like white people um were just able to punch above their weight so much consistently is just because it's just more high trust. Like you're able to get the coordinate like the corporation cooperation with more people when you have these tight knit when you don't have these clan structures butting heads basically.
Hmm, absolutely. Yep, that is true.
What do I want to do next? I think I'll do bones. Bones? Or actually, I'll do this first. This one.
That is like kind of funny to think that that's almost like a turning point in human history. It's like a turning point about what you don't do rather than what you do. It's like, hey, if you don't fuck your cousin, then you'll get prosperity, right? And then that's almost like kind of like a lesson that like many societies fail because they listen to the ramblings of a 7th century warlord in Arabia, right?
Well, so it is just it's before him. It worked that way everywhere, more or less.
I guess so. Yeah, but it's like but it's like whenever you have like Islam in the book, it crystallized that. It basically made it like immovable,
Yeah.
right? And that's almost like kind of like the big problem because it's like you could like criticize like people of their particular society all you want or whatever. If it's fundamentally not movable, then that's kind of what makes it a big problem, right? If you're not actually able, if you have like a system that doesn't allow you to correct any of your mistakes, then it's a bad system.
Yeah, true.
I know that was like an extremely roundabout way of like kind of talking about that, but
I
it's like,
kind of get it. It's why like the Chinese, they were so good for centuries, but later on they weren't able to adapt and were very stagnant and just fell behind Europeans. I don't know if
hmm,
it's completely true, but I remember hearing somewhere that like they didn't even know India was owned by the English when the English were knocking on their door, like
yeah,
back in
that's
the
wild.
1800s. 'Cause they just didn't
Well,
care.
yeah, oh yeah, and then kind of what I've heard is that it's like it's like India has never it's actually been kind of a minority within the span of history that India was ever actually ruled by Indians. It's like they're usually ruled by somebody else, whether it be like the Mughals or the British or anybody else, Turkic
Genuinely,
people.
genuinely a people that are not suited for self-governance at all.
Oh, this is funny. Sam in the chat went like, "This is Warhammer." I kind of, I
uh,
kind of, I kind of feel bad for the poor like sap that's just walking in here just expecting Warhammer, and then he gets this.
that's kind of funny, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, Sam. We have naughty opinions. You're,
Naughty opinions.
yeah, we have naughty opinions.
TLDR. Everyone else sucks.
Yeah,
I remember like in younger me intuitively kind of believing that already,
yeah.
and then doing more research into it, and I just feel vindicated.
Well, was it? It was like I think it was like a quote by Edmund Burke is that basically conservatism is just like rationally proving stuff that you already know intuitively.
Yes.
And that's kind of like a beautiful way to put it, right? Because it's like because it's like you're working on like, millions of years of evolution. And then, kind of like through that, you already kind of instinctively know what's going on, but like your brain doesn't necessarily process. I mean, you can't necessarily come to like a conscious assent to that because it's something that just comes completely instinctively. So it's like you almost kind of have to rationalize your own correct instincts is the thing. And that's just
That's
and that's
kind of
almost like
why also
kind of a
left-wing
weird precarious.
politics in general didn't really be a thing. It wasn't really a huge thing until industrialization, even
Yeah.
proto-industrialization with like Europe.
Well, the left and right divide, like, kind of started with the French Revolution, but kind of prior to that,
That's kind of why I said proto. But
yeah,
the reason why it didn't really exist before that as much because you need a level of removal from reality in order to make leftism make sense.
yeah.
Like you have to be disconnected from the actual going-ons of the world to have that stuff make any sense.
Oh yeah, and then you have like kind of these ideologies like communism and kind of like just general gay race communism, kind of like liberalism, all that crap that kind of have to contend with the fact that the blank slate theory just isn't true. Right? You can't. I mean, people are not basically interchangeable. I mean, they're different from birth, and that's just something you have to like actually contend with, right?
Try
That's just
telling a hunter-gatherer that his resource that he's being oppressed by nature.
yeah,
It's just
basically.
not going to make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
And there's like a hint of argument once civilization comes around, where like you'll find some peasant and they're like, you're being oppressed by your lord or whatever. There's some hint to it, but it's just way more complex than that. That's kind of why, like I was saying, like you have the more civilization you have, the more you're removed from the reality, the
yeah.
more leftism makes sense, even if it doesn't really make sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's actually kind of like a good way to think about it. Is that if you kind of like just continue to shelter yourself from the harsh realities of the outside world, like if you like, I mean, if you kind of like like kind of like shelter yourself from Darwinistic forces. I mean, that would otherwise change your behavior because it would be a matter of necessity to. I mean, the more that you could be insulated from that, the more that you could kind of adhere to delusion without facing any repercussions for it, right?
That's why
Because
like
it's like it's
some
almost
of the
yeah,
most
because it's
prominent.
kind of like this.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's like
Uh,
kind of like the sterilization of like a lot of the kind of transgender stuff. That's not something that can ever really like materialize in a pre-modern society because that's something that could never really. I mean, that's something that would be like the death knell for any kind of society ever, right? I mean, just it could never like actually materialize in a world that wasn't it's super industrialized and super modern because you've been sheltered from all the forces that would probably, kind of call you out if,
yes,
you know, yeah. Anyway, you were going to say something?
I had a thought and then it escaped me. I should have latched that thought down. I think what was it?
Yeah. Spare Cake said a lot of it is just making up new shit and pretending it's normal and you're bad for accepting it and you're bad for not accepting it.
Well, some
Yeah,
of it,
basically.
yeah, that's true. But some of it, like the transgender stuff, like I said, it requires this level of removal from civilization and survival. and also kind of this belief, because as industrial civilization advances and becomes more powerful, technology becomes more powerful, you start getting this belief that you can reshape reality itself.
Yeah, it's like a like super like gay version of Nietzsche, of like kind of Nietzschean philosophy, where it's like, kind of like where like, with Nietzsche, it's like it's kind of will to power stuff, but like kind of like for like,
I'm gonna will
like
to
the
cut off my
libtard.
cock.
I'm gonna will to like cut off my cock and become like become like a woman, because if I believe hard enough, like my 6'5" frame will like will like shrink down into being the pretty little girl that I want to be.
Some of it also is a glitch from Christian thinking of separation of the soul and body.
Well, yeah, I mean, or what, where a lot of it is kind of like Rene Descartes, where he kind of like, posited a kind of dualism between like the mind and the body. There's also that. I mean, I feel like that's almost like kind of the beginning of the rift, where it's like you kind of like separate your mental state from like physical reality, and then once you do that, it's like it's able unintentionally of course, because obviously Rene Descartes was, he was a devout Catholic. He never would have like wanted like transgender shit later, but that almost was like kind of like a like an unintended side effect of like of his like methodology and metaphysics.
Yeah, I do think it's also just a quirk of Christian thinking as well, because of our concept with the soul and the body being separate. The body is a vessel for the soul, more or less. Though it's a little bit more complicated than just
Well,
that.
yeah, I
A
mean,
human
I
is
think
a soul,
yeah,
is a insouled physical hybrid creature. I think
yeah, yeah, because it's in
what's his name?
traditional Christian
C.S.
theology. I mean,
Lewis
you
puts it the
are,
best, I think,
yeah,
around that.
yeah. Yeah, like in traditional kind of Christian theology, I mean, it's like you are not, yeah, there isn't really like kind of this hard distinction between body and soul, because you are your body, right? I mean, and it's like your soul and your body are inextricably linked to where you can't really, I mean, it's kind of the reason why, like, rather than having like Platoism, where it's like you kind of like ascend to a kind of ethereal realm, you actually have like a resurrection of the body and soul, like, that they'll be like inextricably linked. I mean, the kingdom of God will fundamentally be physical, right? And also spiritual. It would just be kind of a divinized,
Gay
like
version.
physical reality that should have always existed from the onset. But, for kind of for our own folly, we couldn't have that.
Yeah, I'm also hinting. I'm gonna hint that some other societies didn't have this thought process, because like the Egyptians, for instance, they would bury the body with like their riches and stuff because they saw both going to the afterlife. They'd also like do some crazy things like imprisoning with the body, like servants and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's definitely more of a Christian concept, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard like some people like kind of compare like transgenderism to like various forms of Gnosticism.
Oh, it's
And
definitely
I
that.
think, yeah, and I think a lot of that definitely like adheres, because it's like, yeah, because ultimately, if you kind of feel yourself to kind of be a woman, but you're in like a male, in a male body, you are fundamentally fighting the physical world that like
I
that
just
you've been
I can't
given. It's
take
like
I can't take Gnosticism seriously half the time because I just think of like memes where it's like you look
yeah.
outside a bunch of like pretty flowers. This is a vile product of the demiurge.
Well, yeah, it's
Come
like,
on.
well, it's a way for the demiurge to kind of like anesthetize you into like basically just accept like kind of the flawed material world. Yeah, because it's kind of the interesting thing is that Gnosticism isn't like a particular strand or anything. It's kind of just a classification of a whole bunch of different beliefs that have like a kind of common through line, and it usually like revolves around either kind of like a malevolent or sometimes even just an incompetent creator that just creates something that's imperfect and kind of like unwittingly kind of traps like a lot of like ethereal human souls like into that like into that realm. And well, and kind of like another thing is that well, yeah, and then kind of like with all of these Gnostic beliefs, they don't actually believe that everybody has a spark. It's I think that they're simply just an extension of the material world, so it's like just die with it. Right?
Mm.
So I mean, but
Yeah, I know
yeah,
there's
but it's like certain
nuance
people, but certain
around.
people have
Yeah.
this. Yeah, but certain people have the spark, and if you kind of enlighten those people, and they're able to ascend past the material world. That's kind of how a lot of the. That's kind of how a lot of those beliefs work, and it was kind of like just a stream of like thought that kind of came from like certain kind of Platonist traditions or kind of like certain interpretations of Platonist traditions that existed that kind of like that was just floating around. And then whenever Christianity came around, like not like certain like kind of Gnostic beliefs kind of melded itself with that like because it was like it was almost like kind of like this how would I describe it? It's kind of like just like this slime that just kind of connects itself to like anything that it could connect itself to.
I think it's a concept, an idea that it does transcend to Christianity a little bit. Christianity leads, I think, to some people to thinking that. And so that's kind of why it's able to. It's also somewhat of a simple idea. Simple and complex at the same time. That
Yeah.
a midwit can believe it and understand it. Even a particularly intelligent person can fall to this.
Yeah, Despair Cake like remarked that Gnosticism is cool when the Japanese use it as a thematic set dressing in a JRPG. That's basically true. Right.
If Gnosticism didn't exist, we wouldn't have
We haven't
Rei
look
Ayanami,
at
so
yeah, we wouldn't have Megami Tensei.
that's true.
Yeah, that's I know that there's like a lot of well yeah, well Evangelion there's like a lot of Kabbalah, right? And yeah, there's like Gnosticism too, but they're kind of mainly the villains, right? Like kind of Sele. Yeah, they're kind of like this Gnostic cult or whatever that wants to yeah, it's Evangelion is interesting because even though they don't really like I think like a lot of people like they assume that there's like a lot of like kind of Christian and Jewish influence and kind of in it, right? But a lot of it's kind of more like Kabbalah and kind of Gnosticism than anything else
It's
in
kind of a
Evangelion.
rebuke of Gnosticism in a lot of degrees, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like because essentially the end of Evangelion, it's the entire like point with kind of like Asuka and Shinji like kind of materializing out of kind of the Fanta ball in the sky is that they fundamentally just accept life for what it is, even with all like the fallibilities that come with it, right? It's just so it's like so ultimately like Asuka and Shinji they're life affirming at the end, right? They don't deny life. They just accept life for for all the good and bad.
Though the tragedy around it is they did it a little too late. So they still brought upon the apocalypse onto the world.
Yeah. Well, the ending is like a little bit ambiguous because it's almost like it's kind of like an open question of like, okay, the people like inside of the Phantom Ball, it's like like are they gonna like, are they gonna choose to kind of like materialize themselves or are they just gonna stick within like, stick within like kind of this formless blob in the sky?
Well,
Yeah.
not just that. I'm also just thinking of the material world itself. Like it's it got completely ravaged by the third impact.
Yeah. Man, it is kind of funny when you think of like kind of like Sele's experiment and kind of human instrumentality. I guess that's actually what it's called, not the Fanta Ball. I call it the Fanta Ball because
Yeah, I
it's
guess it's
funny.
funny.
Yeah, but it's almost like human instrumentality, where there's almost kind of like a singular consciousness with like no barriers in between individuals. It almost kind of relates to like the Hindu concept of like a Brahmin a little bit. Right, right, because it's like because kind of like what Hinduism posits is that like any kind of like distinction between like individual consciousness is somewhat illusory, and that it ultimately stems from like kind of like from a singular consciousness that eventually at some point you'll return to. So it's like so it's like kind of like the distinction between you and I, for instance, is like a completely illusory one, right? It's like we're fundamentally like just a small fragment, a drop of like a greater consciousness above.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that, but
Yeah, I mean it's
it's definitely
fascinating.
interesting. Well, Evangelion paints as bigger consciousness actually bad, and it's better to have individual consciousnesses, I
Yeah,
suppose. Everyone can still leave the LCL. At least I think so. The city's trash, though. Well, it's not just the city. I'm getting at the planet. The whole planet got messed up. So it's
yeah,
basically live in the LCL uh, ball, like he's saying. Though I think it's actually a ring around the planet at that point, but whatever. It's the details doesn't really matter. Or
well,
come back to
kind of
Earth, be an
yeah,
individual, but you have to go through the apocalypse and live like a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, basically.
yeah. But of course, there's like a lot of people that watch End of Evangelion, and this just goes right over their head. They just kind of go like, oh well, I mean the colors are pretty and it's kind of cool looking. And I feel like that's almost how most people consume it. They just kind of go like, yeah, this is kind of just a crazy ass acid trip, and
Yeah,
I kind of like
it.
that.
A lot more going
Right?
on. I think people give it
Yeah, I mean,
credit all.
I've actually like had friends that actually just directly said that, where it goes like, yeah, this is a great movie to just take acid to if you can watch it.
Jeez.
It's like oh okay, buddy. Okay. Despair cake. Everybody can leave the LCL if they want. At least I think so. The city's trash
Some
though.
constructors need to
Yeah,
leave
like
that
a
soup
despair
and
cake.
rebuild.
The construction workers need to leave the soup and rebuild. Yes. Very epic. Very epic and very true, Despair Cake. You are a patriot.
Oh yeah, what do you think of these guys actually? These cultists? They all got
I think
skull
that they're very cool.
masks. There's a finished one.
Yeah, we should definitely integrate more skulls into just like into just everything we do. I'm definitely in favor of it. It's like have you ever read Berserk and all? There's like this one exceptionally cool character called like the Skull Knight, and like his entire job is to just be mysterious and say ominous things. And like kind of like and just constantly be open-ended and ambiguous, and he's like awesome.
I should get paid to do that.
Yeah,
Mysterious maxing.
yeah, absolutely. It's like every word that like every sentence you say just feels like a prophecy. Right, right, just
Should
yeah,
hire like
say like
seers
yeah. I
again.
mean that actually is like kind of the lesson of Berserk. I mean, a lot of people like think Berserk is about like kind of free will versus determinism, like the kind of like the will to power, like the kind of struggle against all the odds. But no, the actual lesson is just saying cool cryptic shit is like really hype as hell, and then you should do it.
Hype and aura moments.
Yeah, it's like you should aura farm whenever you can.
These guys out of the way. Okay. Oh yeah, I should do the bones for the body. These guys got all sorts of bones and stuff on them.
Oh.
On their chest.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did like initially remark that what if like kind of like a random person just came in here, but I realized that you're also streaming this on X. So like a lot of your kind of racist Twitter mutuals are kind of getting here. So I guess like all right, I guess I don't really have to be too concerned about like what
I got 23 views. I don't know how that translates because it's not telling me active viewers. It's just telling me views.
I'm kind of looking at it like on mobile, and we have like 4 people that are on, probably including myself, but you know,
That's all right.
yeah, it's a work in progress. Hey man, you already you just began streaming, so
Yeah, I haven't really been streaming a ton. Uh, I had to figure it out and gather the will, I suppose. Sometimes gathering the will is the hardest.
yeah, absolutely. And it's always like kind of a matter of just having interesting things to talk about,
It's kind of why I dragged
which
you
I
on
like.
here, because
Which
I think we got a lot of conversations that are always interesting.
oh, absolutely, we definitely rehash a lot of the same points, but that's fun to do. You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes you can take an object and look at it at a different angle and find something new.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll just find like 100,000 different ways to say the exact same thing, right? And that's kind of what a lot of podcasts are. Yeah, a lot of podcasts also just don't even need to exist, right? There's a little bit of an oversaturation of them.
Some of it is literally just because people don't have friends. And that sounds depressing, but some people just need some voices to listen to.
That is true. Man, I think I would consider like starting a podcast if I actually had like a good voice to work with. Like if I could like be like just a late night sports radio and I just sound like that, that'd be fantastic.
A deep voice.
Because it's like because it's
Deep
like a lot of those people have
voice.
like a very like deep, very satisfying to listen to voice, and I wish that that's what puberty did for me, but no, it did not. That just never came.
Yeah, I didn't get a great one, I think.
You have a pretty good one.
Do I?
I mean, yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
I doubt.
you kind of just sound like a regular white dude from the Midwest.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
kind of the way I would describe it.
Midwest nationalism. You don't even sound Southern, I'm gonna be honest.
Ah, dude, that's like the thing that sucks is that it's like there's like kind of it's because the world is so interconnected now, a lot of people just don't have accents anymore.
Yeah, like I was watching someone the other day and they're British and I forgot they were British. And I remembered they were British when they said bloody hell. But
Yeah.
otherwise they just sounded like an American.
Oh, dude, Scandinavians kind of like throw me a loop too, because it's like they'll speak English like they're from Minnesota. Right? They just, I mean, because it's like they just like learn English from a very early age there. Then they're basically constantly speaking it, because nobody outside of like outside of Norway speaks Norwegian. So of course you have to know English. So it's like, but so it's like a lot of those guys. They just, I mean, the way that they speak, it's completely indistinguishable from like the way that like a Canadian or American would speak. Maybe that's like they have like kind of a slight cadence that kind of gives away that they're Norwegian, but they're like fully intelligible.
Yeah, there's like a Norwegian that I know of that I know of like they're a creature. Uh
Yeah.
that I like to watch, Arch. He's good friends with Sargon
Oh.
and he's a Norwegian. Just look up Archcast. You probably could find him. And you wouldn't know he was a Norwegian at all. I didn't know he was until he just mentioned it casually. I was like, "What?" I thought he was just
I
an
mean, yeah, that's
American or
that's
British.
def- it's definitely how that works.
Total Anglo victory, I
Oh,
guess.
well, freaking Canadians, I mean, they'll kind of do the same. Well, dude, it's like what Canadians will do is that they'll just speak like an American until they just say a random word that just immediately gives away that they're Canadian. They just, it's like they'll just be speaking normally and then they'll say sorry, right? And then it just immediately gives it away and go like, oh, you were literally Canadian. Okay, I get it.
Your
Right?
life worth is worth less now.
It's like those like little individual words here and there that just give it away. It's
Oh,
just
that's
kind
like
of funny.
I don't know what the movie is. I forgot. But it was that one movie. It was as that German guy who the other dude, the American who gets outed. He puts his hands up to do a three, but he does it wrong because Germans have the thumb out when they count.
Hmm.
That they count with. They start with the thumb, doing one and then two and then three.
That's
Like
interesting.
so, like he outed himself because he started with his pointing finger and then so go on so on and so forth.
Yeah, I have German relatives, right? Kind of like an aunt and uncle, and it's kind of like a weird peculiarity that they have is whenever they like say that they like kind of like they wake up from like you know, when they like wake up, they actually say that they like kind of stand up in the morning. Or I don't know if that's just kind of how it works in German, or if that's just like the way that they were just speaking just English in particular. But yeah, but it's like they were like telling us, telling us stories, and it just goes like, oh yeah, I stand up at like about like at 7:40 at like a.m. and then I just kind of
That's
go
a
and
weird way of saying it. Yeah, like
yeah, I mean it's like one of those things you hear where it's like it's not wrong. Right? It's just kind of quirky and different. It doesn't really it's like it's something that you're not really it's like I know what you mean, right? But that's just not how we would typically phrase
it's
it,
such a
right?
German way of thinking it. Like, cause you're standing up. I'm ready to go be a productive member of society.
Yeah, basically. Like I think like it always was like kind of like a little bit of a funny meme that it's like a lot of the Protestant societies that kind of like emphasize kind of faith alone and you can't get saved by works or whatever will still nevertheless have the most stringent work ethics while the Mediterranean more Catholic societies are like the ones that kind of like to relax a little bit more.
Some of that's also just a product of the Mediterranean.
Yeah. I guess it's like the Mediterranean is just very nice. So it's like you just kind of relax more just because of that.
Well,
Right?
it's
It's like you have like these
product of
really beautiful
Mediterranean, longer growing seasons, and In the north, winter is more of a problem, so you do have to have a work ethic. So it's like a combination of these things that create this.
Yeah, I mean it's the reason why like a lot of the like Swedes, for instance, are just like some of the most industrious people that you'll ever meet because it's like the winters are brutal, and if you don't work, you will you'll you'll frost over. So it's like it's just
Yeah, it was literally pre-selecting for hard working like that.
yeah. I think that actually makes a lot of sense because I know like how like a lot of people explain it is that is that Martin Luther kind of like made like a little bit of a distinction where it's like the kind of like the Catholic perception of like kind of like the sacred and the profane is that like a lot of like jobs like being a priest or being a monk or a nun were kind of like sacred work, and then just working regular jobs are kind of like profane, right? They're kind of just they're just kind of like a lower form of work. And then Martin Luther kind of like saw that as like kind of being somewhat condescending, and that all work can kind of be divinized if you like if you kind of like incorporate like God into it. So that could like so that's kind of what contributed to it too. Is that like there's like a certain like sense that like like working can actually be salvific,
Based?
or at least they kind of like or at least like a lot of the Protestants, they kind of emphasize that more. I mean, that's like kind of a strain. That could be like a strain of thinking in Catholicism too. The work can kind of be salvific because that was kind of even there during like old covenant days. But I think it's like a lot of the Protestants, they simply emphasize that a lot more, and that's why like the Dutch and the Swedes and the German, or at least kind of like the Northern
And,
Germans
and
are the
and
most
I think
industrious
that
people
kind of
ever.
comes around that too, is they already had a culture that was amicable to the idea, so they were more likely to accept something like that. I think that's also a line of thinking that kind of can be included in many things. Is some cultures are more amicable towards certain ways of society and ways of thinking, and then
Yeah.
when you introduce that, they just reinforce it even more. It's kind of why like the Catholic Church was able to introduce a lot of the incest taboos and monogamy as easily in Western Europe, even with the resistance that they met, because a lot of those
Yeah.
cultures were already amicable towards that. Monogamy was actually something
Oh,
that was pretty common in Germany and in Rome, the Roman Empire, before the Catholic Church came around. It's just the Catholic Church
well,
doubled down.
oh yeah, well, and funny enough, monogamy is actually still the primary form of like kind of of like a marriage in the Muslim world by a lot. Simply because
Yes,
it's like you
yes.
just simply because of like you can't everybody cannot be polygamous. It's like that's just not how that can work.
Well,
And
you
it's
can
like
when you kill all of the incels with
I mean,
through
I
war.
guess so. Well, well, yeah, that actually is like how exactly how that worked, right? Because I remember kind of watching like an inspiring philosophy video about this. Is that kind of back in the day, whenever like you were like kind of a strong man that just wanted like 15 wives, you would send all the people like that were incels off to go fight and die in the war, so it kind of frees up women for yourself. But like kind of like a lot of these like Islamic societies, they're almost like incredibly unstable because they can't really do that anymore. So it's like so for every like second, third, or fourth wife that like that a Muslim man takes, he fundamentally takes away another wife from like from somebody who could have otherwise had
I
one.
just had a really funny thought. Oh my goodness.
And that's why like a lot of these like kind of incel men's, I mean, they become like terrorists and suicide bombers, and they join radical groups because it's like they literally can't find a
Uh,
wife because they
you're
don't
welcome, Middle East, for American wars of intervention. We're helping your incel problem. You're welcome. Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, I guess it shakes out, doesn't it? Right? I mean, go like, hey, we'll kind of top off some of your incels for you. That's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. You could just not fucking have polygamy.
Oh,
You know, you
yeah,
could
it's
do.
an
I mean,
integral
yeah,
part of my culture. I can't get rid of that. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Muhammad did it, so
Polygamy,
it's
child
okay.
marriage. We can't get rid of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't get rid of it. I mean, it's like if Muhammad did it, then it's like, it's just part of our culture now. Because like, oh well, okay, I guess you're just gonna have this incel problem forever until you get rid of it.
Why do you think they were so warlike all the time?
Yeah. Well,
They
dude, I
literally
think.
need to go and attack all the time for this problem to get rid of.
Yeah, I know. Like, and I like to a certain degree, I almost kind of like hate it because it almost like sounds like a lib, like kind of like a lib, like argument for why like a society is bad is that there's just like a large amount of men that just literally are not getting pussy. But I think it actually kind of holds true there, right? Because it's like again, it's like
One waifu for life
if you
is
can't
true.
settle down and you never really have any prospects of it because the women that you would date literally do not exist because they're out of the marriage market. They're already married to Mahmoud Rahman, like oil tycoon in like freaking Riyadh. Then what can you really do? You know what I mean? Like it's just you just gotta have like this pent up like sexual frustration, and you just want to die, and then you just you join a radical jihadist group, and then you
Well,
die.
that's why ancient Indo-European tradition, bride napping. I'm just saying, it would it fixes society. Women want it, men want it. We just need to allow it. Let it happen. But only for true
Yes,
cells. Only. Only.
yeah, so true.
Because when other people do it, it's not right. They're not doing it correctly. They're not doing it out of love.
They're
I
not
have
doing it out
only
of
good
love.
intentions.
Yeah, I'm actually a very sensitive bride napper.
Sensitive bride
Yeah,
napper. I would never do it without consent.
yeah, never do
Ever.
it without consent. I love women,
I
and
love when I
I would
wouldn't do
never.
it when out of hatred. There's no like if I'm
I
mad,
never, I never,
can't do it. Can't do it.
yeah, I never do it out of hatred or anger. I love women, and I kidnap women because I love them.
Well, they need protection. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing just wandering
they need
around?
protection from guys like me. I mean, yeah, yeah,
Like, my basement's way safer than outside. I'm just saying.
that's so true. I think it's like a thing that like Alzeron said in our server, where it's just like, yeah, bride napping actually like resets like a woman's settings back to factory settings.
It's true.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like they kind of have like a lot of this like feminist slop in their brains or whatever. You just bride nap them, and then they just become like then they just become a regular woman.
True.
I think that's how that works.
It's true. There's just something.
I think
It's kind
I
of
think we have a
like,
lot.
you
I think we have a
know.
lot to learn from
Mhm.
Kyrgyzstan.
True. It's kind of like, um, cats, obviously, right? When they get
Yep.
tugged by their neck and held by their neck like that, like there's like this neck flesh, whatever. I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
they activate kitten mode. They go back to that. When women get like princess carried,
Yep.
it activates that mode, it reactivates.
Dude, that is so true. Yeah, because it's like you pick up a cat sometimes and it actually like purrs whenever you do it. I mean, it's like the same thing with like kind of like a cute girl that you see is that you just pick her up and then
It's reactivated. Factory settings set back on.
it's like it's kind of that tacit like kind of reminder, go like, oh, I'm a woman. Oh,
That's why
right.
some of them get fat. Like they get it's a self-defense mechanism, but it's like one of those self-defense mechanisms that are unhealthy.
Yeah, it's very yeah, it's very true. Well, yeah, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, and those would be kind of like the women that don't necessarily want to, you know, it's like they don't want to be like you know, your wife that much, because if they did, then they would be lighter
It's true. They're
and more
filtering
portable.
themselves
Yeah,
out.
they're filtering themselves out. Oh,
The blue hair and piercings will magically disappear when you princess carrier. Fact check
yeah, it's like
true.
you yep.
So true, King. So true.
Yeah, man, this is a yeah, this guy gets it. You know, despair cake. I don't know if I've ever talked to you before. I guess you're probably one of Haru's Twitter mutuals, but you have you say very epic things. Say very epic and true things because you basically agree with everything I'm saying.
That's so true. Like, it's not unhealthy at all to have someone agree with everything you say. Ever.
I know it just makes life easier when you just find the guy that just literally agrees with everything you say with you're saying. Right on.
I wasn't reading it.
Yeah, he says that he's like from like X.com.
Um, I thought that I read that as Zitler.
Did you?
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, man, I actually don't have an X. I'm actually like one of like Haru's like kind of Discord friends. I'll lurk on X, but I never actually like set up an account and
I'm trying to.
you know
I don't
use it.
know. I don't know if I recommend it or not. I'm not fully settled on that. I like X a lot. It's fun. I mean, I make money off it at this point. As
Yeah.
well. I won't lie about that. Well, it also could just be so time consuming, and if you get in the wrong algorithms, you just get rage baited.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
unironically.
Oh yeah. Basically. Yeah. I mean, that's man. There's just like so much of that, man. It's just yeah, because like even when I like lurk sometimes, I just fall into rage porn. Or where it's just like man, like that one thing that you like that one thing that you reposted really fucking pissed me off. It's like it was about like kind of like the Void streamer that like talked about how like Clan Ad is actually not good because of the art,
Oh,
and that you know it's
yeah.
just like I just went like, oh dude, don't freaking
Shut
do
up,
this to me.
stupid
I hate
Void.
it. Like shut up, Taurus, go away. Hey,
That's
you know, it's like it was like man, it was like the worst shit ever. It freaking pissed me off for like 30 minutes after I watched it. It was like,
that's not what I'm getting at. But also, like, you can find so many great things. So many good
yeah,
posts. Also, just like random internet schizo says the most enlightening thing you've heard all week.
absolutely.
Also, just anime girls everywhere. It's actually what my my Twitter account that I
Yeah,
made, it was 2018. It was a long time ago, actually. At this point, I made
there.
that originally to get more pictures of Haruhi Suzumiya. Unironically, that's what it was originally made for.
That's really epic. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's really kind of like a double-edged sword because it's like with X, right? It's like the entire like premise of it is that it's like it's kind of like every kind of like intrusive thought that you have in your head, you could just blur it out without really much repercussions, and that could kind of be either kind of a positive thing or a negative thing, right? Because a lot of times it's like you just think of something insanely base and you say it, and then you go like, "Wow, it's so true, King." But other times it's like the worst shit ever, and you don't really want to read it. So it's I don't know. You're playing with fire whenever you have that kind of like whenever you have that kind of power, I guess.
You can't have gym posts without coal posts.
Yeah,
You can't
that's
have good
absolutely.
without evil.
and
It
like
is
and
what
like
it
oh yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, and it's man, it's funny because it's like in Twitter. It's like it's remarkable, like just how fast that people will just resort to death threats, like whenever like something happens that they don't want. Right? I mean, yeah. I mean,
So true.
because it is remarkable. I mean, it's like even like for something that you think would be relatively innocent, like just like like I follow like baseball, right?
Yeah.
I follow like the Texas Rangers because I live in DFW and all, and yeah, if they have like kind of like a reliever pitcher that just ends up blowing a lead, like I can like immediately check Twitter and then like there'll be like a whole bunch of people talking about how this person should die. I just want to like immediately.
Oh
I just
my
went like,
gosh.
I just went like, dude, that is actually fucking nuts. It's like freaking, like yeah, it's like Chris Martin like
You
gives
did
up a home,
one
like
thing
gives up a home run.
I'm displeased with. Die immediately.
Yeah, dude, it was actually like insane because it's like, oh, I think I remember reading this somewhere where it's like, it's just, it's like you had like Chris Martin, he gave up a home run and there was like two people on base, so it was like a 3-run home run, and it basically like completely like sunk the game for us. And then I just immediately like went on Twitter, and then like one of the comments I just immediately saw is that Chris Martin should die in front of his like wife and shit. I'm like, holy fuck, dude.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that
That
extreme.
is,
Jeez.
I mean, that was like the worst one I've ever saw, but like it was like fucking insane. Just how like freaking extreme that people could be over something that literally doesn't even matter at the end of the day.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
It's like yeah, it's like one regular season game out of 162, and this guy is like freaking like talking about how this guy should die because he made one fuck up.
Oh, it's you know what
Freaking
it's over. Get out of my life. Stop existing. You failed at your single purpose.
yeah, yeah, I mean, I know you precariously as a baseball player, and you failed at that, so you have no reason to exist. It's freaking remarkable, man. Yeah, it's like I think I like saw that and that was like remarkably enlightening. It's just so it goes like, okay, yeah, that basically tells me everything about like about social media that I really need to know. Right? Is that it's like you could just say the most fucking horrible thing ever, right? Over something so minuscule and just yeah, it's remarkable.
Alright, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna go take a bathroom break. I'll be back. I put
Okay.
Gura on for the stream right there.
Oh, I don't see her. Where is she?
It'll pop up in a moment. It's delayed.
Ah, I await with bated breath. Mm. You were breaking into my home. Yeah, I wish to spare cake. I post whatever I want, whatever I feel like, and don't worry about. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now I see it.
Oh, that was delayed, wasn't it? Lol.
I just thought that video was funny. I don't take people like her seriously. Man,
Guru
I forgot
breaking
what that
into
was.
my home.
Yeah, be the best thing that ever happened. Oh no, this might not be a very controversial. Might be a very brave take, but I am a big fan of anime girls, particularly very cute and small ones.
I've returned though. If you're not paying attention.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying more epic and true things.
Anime girls. Ugh. That looks like a
Oh.
child. What do you mean?
You're like, yeah, that's why I like
I.
them. They're
Oh my god. I can't even. I was about to say something else. I'm not even really. I don't even.
I just completely napalmed what you were about to say.
I was gonna get into a story, and then you. Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh
hey,
my
man.
gosh.
I have committed the unpardonable offense of liking cute things.
Well, I was thinking, as I remember a long while ago, active duty days, I showed somebody, we were just showing pictures on our phone, and I showed them a cute anime girl. I think it was Haru Suzumiya specifically. I think it was. Or
Yeah,
it was some other
yeah,
girl
yeah.
who was big, like particularly big-breasted. Like it wasn't a pornographic image or anything, but she had a large chest.
Yeah.
And he straight up said that looks like a child.
Wow.
I'm like I do not see what are you talking about? And
I don't know.
I think some of it is just like it's animated, so therefore they look like a child logic. And
Well, and I think a
sometimes
lot of people,
yeah.
I think a lot of people conflate like youthfulness with being like with being childlike,
Yeah.
because it's like because like it can be, there is overlap, but it's not the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, now I just sound like a freaking Discord mod, right? like a Discord mod. Go like, oh, it might be like somewhat childlike, but it's actually like a 5,000. No,
Well,
no, it's like not even really that.
if
But
she isn't in her 40s, it's a child. Get out of here.
yeah, I mean that's well, I mean that's how like people bash like Leonardo DiCaprio for that. Is that he's like he likes like 22-year-old women, and a lot of like a lot of these voids that are in their 40s and 50s are very upset about it. It's like, okay, it's like you're upset at him for being a heterosexual. Like, that's essentially what it boils down to. It's like, oh yeah, sorry, you caught me. I like beautiful, youthful women.
Well, that's like there's multiple avenues I can go from this. But that's something about men that women don't understand sometimes is all men like younger women, all of them, even a
Yeah,
120-year-old man loves a younger
yeah,
woman. Like that's just how they are. It's baked into the biology. Well, the opposite is
basically.
kind of true with women. They like older men to some,
Yeah,
at least more likely to, like be fine with that kind of thing. Like I remember looking at
yeah,
like a chart where they
yeah,
basically asked large groups of men and large groups of women and like how their tastes around ages, and men kind of keeps going up until like they hit their like 20s or so, and then it kind of plateaus at around 25. And some men even go
yeah,
as high as 29 or whatever. But like for the generally speaking, it stays around young 20s when it comes to men what they like. But with women, it just kept climbing basically.
yeah. Absolutely.
which is
Yeah, because
interesting.
it's like because with a lot of women, it's like a lot of it is like emotional support than anything else. It's like men are definitely a lot more visual, and like women they don't. Of course, it's like women can be visual too, but
Yeah, women are way more visual than given credit, to be honest.
yeah, I
But
mean
yeah,
that is something that is genuinely true. They're more visual than a lot of people in the 40s thought that they were, right? But they're still nevertheless less visual than men. I guess
that's
it's
I think that's true. They they can get at the idea of an uglier man that like that can be okay. Though I guess height plays into it, so that's something else as well.
oh, height definitely plays into it. It's like if you're like 6'5" and you're chubby, then that's still kind of cancels out, right? It's like it just go like it's just like all right, you're really tall, so that's attractive in of itself.
Yeah, like the joke of women will date monsters and stuff. And you're like, yeah, but what if they're 5'4"?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's freaking man. It's like a lot of these like freaking gym bros. It's like I feel so bad for them, dude. Yeah, because it's like they'll like dedicate like so much to just getting absolutely shredded, but they're like 5'3", so it's like women are
Sorry,
not
and the only
interested.
people who appreciate it are homosexuals.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically. But
it's so
that's always like the
over.
thing that's so sad, right? I mean, man, that's just like gym in general, man. It's like it's like you work out, you get a good physique. It's always gonna be the dudes checking you out. It's never gonna be a woman. I mean, it's like you can post it on social media. You'll get like 5,000 different sexual remarks about you, but not one of them will be from a woman. You know what I mean? It's brutal.
There is diminishing returns when it comes to the basically working out. And sometimes not even diminishing returns. If you go too far into it, you're just not even attractive anymore. It actually starts giving you negative points.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
there's diminishing returns when it comes to working out.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, I mean I feel like a lot of those like gym guys don't understand is that like a lot of women don't actually want you to look like Rambo. It's like that's almost like that's for the boys, dude. I mean, you look like Rambo for the boys. Never for the
It's
ladies.
like you got to be moderately attractive, height and strength, but it's more so like what you can do and what you do with that power. Like you see pictures of Genghis Khan and that guy's like fat, basically. But like he's in
Yeah.
charge of a global empire, or like not a global empire, but you get the idea. Like in charge of a giant empire. So like that aspect of it becomes more attractive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and hell, I mean, kind of like the
That might not be a
strongest
great
people in the
example,
world are
but
like the people that kind of integrate both fat and muscle
oh,
together.
actually,
It's
no,
like the
no,
people that are
yeah,
like fat and muscular at the same
a
time. It's like
better
those.
example, a modern example, Putin. Women
Yeah.
in Russia love Putin, at least from what I understand. They generally love Putin.
Well, I think they might be required to.
Yeah, but there's like a subsection of them that really like him, but it's because it's like a power thing, a danger thing. Like I can kill you if I don't like you, kind of thing.
Oh
Like
yeah.
women
Well, dude,
gotta
I
like
think.
that.
Oh well, hell. That's why you kind of get like a lot of those like
Like,
perverse ladies that really like school shooters,
and he's
right?
also not even, and he's also not ugly, so like that ties into it as well.
Yeah, he just has a very like stone face, like he's like personally killed people before,
He's a
and
KGB agent. He's
it's almost
definitely
like
killed people.
very scary. I mean, hey, like I think I remember seeing like a brilliant X post about this, where it's like where if like true crime is any kind of indication, killing is about the only like hobby that women actually appreciate in a man. It's actually kind of remarkable.
Oh, it's true, dude.
It really is because it's like every freaking middle-aged soccer mom that you'll ever like listen to is like addicted to like true crime podcast, and it's like I feel like a lot of it
That's
is like kind of
terminal.
that date.
It's terminal.
It is terminal, right? It's like it's like a lot of these like women they just go like, oh, a guy who kills? Oh. It's like their ears like perk up, their eyes like yeah, it's like their eyes turn into hearts. Like they you know, it's like yeah, like being like evil ass rapist murderer actually doesn't attract a lot of women to you.
I do not endorse.
Hey man,
uh,
I'm not saying that like you should do that or whatever.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that's just but it's like every single one of those like true crime, addicted like addicted people, they're all into
And
that.
what's
So
and you can double, and it's like a multiplicative effect because like dudes who are 6'5", attractive, and they kill people,
oh,
that
that's
just
so true.
women's brains
It's just
just stop working.
it's like literally irresistible.
Like
It's like
they
it's like they're
don't work.
fluttering around. It's like they're just fluttering around. It's just like it's just a faucet downstairs.
Yeah, oh my god, why'd you just paint it like
it's,
that? Why'd you...
it's just hey,
Uh,
we're already talking about killing, so we might as well,
oh.
Yeah, the Spirit King says being evil gives you 100% points with women. That's so true. The age of consent is 40 now. That's sadly true. Dyeing my hair gray and painting on wrinkles to get the ladies. Very true.
I think there is nuance around the aging thing. Like, probably the
Yeah.
most attractive demographic would be like you still got a full head of hair,
Yeah.
and you're like Leon Kennedy maxing.
Very true.
So I remember like Japanese women like obsessing with the guy when they were making him, like his model specifically.
Oh, like who are you talking about?
Leon Kennedy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, when they
Leon
were
Kennedy.
making the Resident Evil games, they are apparently obsessing over the details around it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like all the women want him and all the men want to be him. That's definitely how that works.
I got blonde hair. It's just step in the direction.
Yeah, he kind of has like a
uh,
he's kind of brunette, right? Like kind of with like a
it's like
little
a
bit of
dirty
blonde.
blonde, I think. Yeah,
It's like a dirty blonde.
I'm a dirty blonde though.
Yeah, but fucking
I
Leon
just need to,
Kennedy is so
I just need to
cool.
be Leon Kennedy maxing.
I know. Dude, I really envy people that are able to just say extremely dumb shit and like look badass doing it.
It's only extremely dumb when you're ugly. I remember someone making this point, and I think it's really true. Is like you look at cringe compilations,
It's
no
like
one there's, it's no one's attractive
basically
in
all
that.
dysgenic people.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, oh yeah, man. It's like I feel like it's absolutely true. Like you can be forgiven for being attractive, and that's kind of how that's just how everything works. It's like you mean again, it's like it's you could be horrible, but if you're kind of like really attractive and you're really pretty to look at, then people just immediately forgive you, and then they won't even like pay attention to the fact that you just said something profoundly stupid. You know what I mean?
That's why
Yeah,
if you
every
want to get
cringe
into,
compilation.
if you ever want to get into debating, you gotta look smacks a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like it matters more than people would want it to matter.
That's why
At
I
least
don't
it's kind of
debate.
like
I'm just correct all the time.
nah. Well, I happen to be both correct and beautiful, so that works out perfectly, doesn't it? No, I'd like to think I'm all right. But of course I'm like 5'8", so cursed.
Oh
I'm not,
yeah.
I'm not I'm not like one of these like 6'5" people that all the women want.
I'm like in
Unfortunately.
between 5'7" and 5'8", so
Mm.
I'm 5'8" actually. Then, like that's my logic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how
You
that goes.
just round up. Yeah, just always round up, man.
I feel like I
It's like,
could have been taller if I just ate more as a child, and that's not an indictment on my parents at all. It was me. It was me. It was
nah.
all me. I was not sleeping enough. I would stay up all night, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like kind of the classic joke where it just goes like, "Wow, I kind of wish I invested in real estate whenever I was 2 years old."
I mean, that's not as extreme as that, but yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, this is man, it's frustrating, right? Because it's like once you realize it, it's like already too late. It's like the damage has been done. It's like you could have been 6'5" if you actually like bothered to sleep more and not stay up playing
I
video
didn't
games too
even,
much.
it's like a thing you don't know because no one told you, and they didn't know, I
They should
guess.
tell you. I feel like it'd be nice if people like emphasize that a little bit
That's
more.
something I think is going to be interesting is in the upcoming uh within the next few decades, there are going to be some Gen Z manage to get, have children and are aware of all of these um nuances, right? And will probably like max out the stats, I guess is a way to say it, for their children.
Oh yeah, and then it's like you kind of have like IVF, where it's like you can literally just select genes that you want. Right?
Yeah,
That's
I mean, you
not
don't
gonna
even
be
need to go
great.
that far. I'm just saying, like, they just do everything right possible, optimize their childhood.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I
It's
would
like,
do to a degree at least. Is like,
yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
make sure you eat. I'm gonna make sure you sleep. You're not breathing out of your mouth. You're breathing through your nose. Like,
oh,
not.
oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, dude,
that kind
yeah,
of
I mean
plenty of
that's probably
protein
like
and
absolutely.
plenty of protein so you get all of the stuff that you need to grow and be tall.
Dude,
So on and so forth.
oh, dude, absolutely, man. The strict curfew.
And it's not even like it's literally done so that you can be taller so you can date.
I,
uh,
I don't know. Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, and it's like you need to just tell them that. Go like, hey, if you want to like, if you want women in the future, this is necessary. You're gonna have to go to bed. I'm, I'm,
hmm. Giving little Tunny his protein powder before. Oh my goodness. Giving little
yeah,
Timmy his protein powder before school lunch.
just
So
yeah, it's like
true.
you ever like saw that like little like contraption called like the Jazzercise, where it's kind of like this like kind of like little spring that you put inside of your mouth just so that you could chisel your jawline more. Just give little Timmy that. Just start very early on, and then it's like, and then whenever you're like 13, you'll already have like jawline of like freaking a Greek god.
I don't know if it's true, but I remember seeing like a post where the guy was giving his baby creatine. And he was intentionally like exercising the arm, right? Like doing like pull-ups for a baby. But like not like literally pull-ups, but you know what I mean. Uh
Oh,
I don't it's like
that's not.
I don't know if that's good or not. I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea.
I'm pretty sure that that's child abuse.
don't,
I'm
don't give your
pretty,
baby
pretty.
creatine.
You probably shouldn't give your baby creatine.
uh,
Damn, dude. Man, it kind of reminds me of like all those like alpha male posts that would go around back in the day that were just absolutely hilarious. It's like it goes like, you wake up, you shit, you do 15 like you do 15 like with pull ups, you get out of bed. You drink, you drink gasoline. You kill every dog you see. No
I put a rock
mercy.
in my shoe on purpose. I need to
Yeah,
be
it's
as
like, yeah,
uncomfortable as
it's,
possible.
Yeah, it's always like the guy from American Psycho, and it's like the dude, basically.
But I think some maxing around your child isn't a bad thing at all.
No,
Like, there's a lot of
no, it's like, you know,
things that,
like be sure
yeah.
that you like you kind of eat enough, get good sleep, and play a sport if if you can.
And the thing is,
I feel
like,
like that's
I
something.
don't even want to like. I feel like the way that like the maxing stuff as well in the past generations, they just did it wrong as well. Like they would piano max, and to some degree, I don't think that's a bad thing. But like sometimes they just go too far into it, and ultimately that's not even that useful anyway, for most people at least, right?
I mean, it's very. I mean, it's very sophisticated, but it's just not something. Well, I think it's almost like kind of the problem a lot of like Asian parents make. A lot of like yeah, because it's like I think they are like fundamentally well natured, but it's like I think what ends up happening is that they just end up breaking their children and basically like prevents them from ever actually having a social life at all because they're always striving.
Yeah.
It's like because like you have to get the best
Looks maxing
grades.
at daycare.
Yep. Yeah, you'd be like the most like Giga Chad baby ever.
They think like babies, they have like all their hair is in. And someone's just like, my 4 month son, look at his hairline, is it over?
Basically.
It's over. So over.
So over.
Also, looks maxing is also a thing that some of it's okay, but obviously there's people who just go to the extremes that are, it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
taking care of yourself, taking showers, and uh, maybe even skincare routines and things. It's not bad. But like when you're
man, it's
taking like meth to looks max and mog your brother, like,
yeah.
um, that's
Hey,
getting
well,
ridiculous.
to be fair, like if you need to lose a lot of weight very quickly, it's doing meth is actually a pretty good way of doing
That's something that drives me crazy around that is like that's like on Ozempic as well. Is like that's just as
Yeah,
you just don't have discipline to stop eating.
I know. It's it's kind of a sad state of affairs, but at the same time, I like it. I like Ozempic. I like that exists because I think it'd be better to just not be fat. Obviously, you should kind of go about it in the right way if you can.
Well, it's
But
the
but it's like a lot of
process
people are
as
just
well.
simply not disciplined enough to do it, right?
Because
So it's
once
like
those drugs are all gone, and if you're not using them anymore, you're just gonna fall into your old patterns anyway because you never got rid of you never went through the process to stop doing that.
oh,
That's the
dude,
problem.
bro, I actually knew a kid at school that had like kind of an exactly a problem like this. I think his name was Dallas Taylor. I freaking remember this guy, where where he was like this like super fat kid or whatever. I mean, it's like he was just, yeah, I mean, he was like essentially super round. He was probably like freaking 200 pounds, probably at the age of like 13. And then it's like he kind of had like an incident where he ended up like pushing his mother, so he like got like sent to like juvie, and
Oh.
like he like lost all of that weight, right? Like he just yeah, and it's like he just like looked like completely like normal after that, and then the second he got out of juvie again, he just gained all of that back. Right, just like no kidding, he just like ballooned right up to where he was like kind of at baseline, and it's like I just go like, dude, why? Like, why would you do that,
That's
right?
why I feel with like a lot of these kinds of things is it's just better to go through the pain and become disciplined around it rather than trying to take shortcuts because ultimately you're just going to fall back into your habits if you don't change your habits anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the inherent like folly of like any kind of like crash course diet is that it's temporary in nature. So it's like the kind of like the rewards that you get are going to be temporary.
Ultimately,
That's
you
that's
have to
always
change
that's
your
always
lifestyle from being a fat person to being eating normally. It's a
yeah,
fundamental change in lifestyle and rejection of the previous style. And that
yeah,
you
people
there isn't
yeah,
really
people don't
much
want to
in
hear
between
that though.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
no.
don't want to hear that. I mean, being like skinny is a way of life. It's not like something that you just get into. It's it's just yeah, it's just absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of issues, and I think fat is kind of the most obvious, the elephant in the room, pun intended.
It's a physical manifestation of that and a very
Yes,
big one.
very big one, very large one.
A very large one. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You just man, I see so many fat people, buddy. It's like it's just I don't know. I live in a southern state too, so it's like it's
Oh
even
yeah.
worse. It's like even worse because people like in the south just eat garbage all the time. They just gotta go like, hey, I could deep fry this butter. you know,
This is why
I'm
we
just
can't
gonna.
have a national health care system.
I
You are
know it's
why.
yeah, basically. Well, yeah, because it's like that's absolutely what it is. It's like you can have a national healthcare system if like people are not eating like
And a
assholes,
lot of it is
right?
also
And it
excess of
isn't gonna like
carbs and not working enough. Like, honestly, if you eat like horribly, but you work out consistently, the army is at proof of this. You can actually not be fat. You're
oh,
you're you're,
absolutely.
you're just
Well,
putting enough effort into it because calories
yeah,
in,
because
calories out.
yeah, that is fundamentally what that is. And yeah, there's actually like a freaking bodybuilder that actually proved this named CT Fletcher, where he kind of made like a point to like to eat nothing but McDonald's every single day for like, for like 5 years, but like
Oh,
kind of work out enough to like make up the difference. And he looks like shredded. Right. And so it really is like kind of like a calories in versus calories out. Of course, he had health problems, obviously, because of that, right? Because obviously you shouldn't just eat
yeah, it's
McDonald's.
not the optimal thing to do.
It's not optimal, but you can muscle your way through it, and basically the entire military does that.
They do that
It's
all the time. Like
like
all of them have
they just eat like
horrible diets.
yeah they eat just as terribly as everybody else. It's just that they kind of like work out enough and work hard enough to where they kind of make up the difference.
It's ironic because that's when military was when I developed more healthy styles of eating. Like I just and it's to the point where I'm like junk food just doesn't isn't even good anymore. Like
Oh, dude, that's absolutely the
I'm at
case,
that level of it. And I don't want to like
dude.
brag about it, but like that's just it took me I would say years to get to that point. You're
Oh yeah,
you're
I
just
mean,
so out
dude,
of it.
I actually tell people like that all the time because, of course, you know, I'm a vegan, so I'm very eccentric, right?
Of
But I
course.
don't know, but it's like I get people like asking me all the time. It just goes like, man, like, why do you not feel the temptation to like consume this? Why, like, and I always like tell them, go like, no, your taste buds are extremely malleable. I mean, and people are not cognizant of that. I mean, it's like, it's repeated exposure to a certain thing is actually what kind of develops your taste. I mean, if you eat like something enough times, a lot of the times you will just like it eventually. I mean, granted, I
Yeah.
mean there is like kind of like objective indicators. I mean, like like salts, sweet, and kind of spicy stuff that kind of like that allows you to that kind of hits like certain kind of like points of like what human beings inherently like. I mean, I think that that's definitely true, but it's like for sodas, for instance, it's like I haven't drank soda in a while, and then it's like if you ever
Mm.
like got to go back to drinking it, it's like it's awful. It's like Coca Cola is just straight up garbage water. It's like it's terrible. It's absolutely
Yeah.
terrible.
At
But
least
it's like a lot of people they like it because that's what they like through repeated exposure. That's what they just end up liking, and that's how all tastes are. It's fundamentally malleable. I mean, if you stick with something long enough and then with enough times, eventually your taste buds change to accommodate that, you know?
That's very true. Though I guess maybe it's a soda thing. I think that's a personal preference. Like I still drink specifically I drink like cane sugar soda. I don't drink corn syrup stuff. That's actually just
Oh,
straight up nasty. But like
those are cane
yeah.
sugars. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine generally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll have that. Though there'll be a tasty treat. Like I don't have that out all the time. I should
Well,
know.
and that's kind of the problem, right? Just because it's like the idea that you should have in your mind is that it's a dessert. Right, but that's not how a lot of Americans see it. They see it as just a regular drink like any other. And yeah, so it's like a lot of people they'll just pack on like freaking a bunch of calories without even really thinking about it. It's like if you drink like freaking two Coca-Colas, you just put on like 500 calories without even thinking about it. And it's almost like again, it's like I feel like it's like the sodas, dude. I feel like that's almost like even more so than anything else, that's a big problem. I feel like you could just cut out the sodas and just replace it with water, and like a lot of our obesity rate would fall pretty significantly. It wouldn't fall up to ideal levels, mind you, because we're still eating other crap that's like terrible. But it's like the sodas. That's like the big killer.
Yeah, and it's just literally a drink. It's like it's accommodation around it, right? And soda's
Yeah, it's just
everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of like this small like little can that you drink, and it's like a fucking billion calories in every single one of them.
I think that's also a
And
thing.
then and then it's like we do that, and then we all wonder why we're like kind of fat and miserable and wanting to die.
It's also
You know?
something that like some fat people just don't get. Is they don't understand the calories in, calories out. They think of just good food, bad food.
Yeah,
So they'll
absolutely.
eat something horrible and think, like, I just ate like 5 pizzas. If I eat like 5 salads, it balances out, right? Kind of mindset. When actually you're just
Yeah.
adding more calories. You're making it worse.
Well, yeah, I mean it's almost funny how that works. It just kind of goes like, hey, if I just eat like a leafy green salad and then I just eat like fucking straight up garbage, then that cancels out. You're like, no, that's not how that works.
Like I said, it actually
That's
just
not how
makes
that
it
works.
worse. You're putting more calories
Like,
in.
yeah, because it's like you know what it is. It's almost like you have like a good day of working out, and then you just get fucking shot in the face. And thinking that the next good workout session is just gonna be able to cancel out like that freaking bullet wound that you just took to the cranium. You know,
Yeah.
that's actually like maybe that's a pretty extreme way of like of like kind of wording it, but that's kind of how that
Yeah, I get
is.
what you're
You know,
saying. I understand.
you know, it's like if you put like healthy stuff on top of poison, then that's not the poison is gonna still be there, right?
I'm just thinking pure calories, but they don't understand the calories. They just think good food, bad food.
Yeah.
Some people just don't comprehend numbers, I feel like, honestly.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people can't visualize an apple inside of their head.
Apple mugging?
Yeah, apple mugging. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody in this chat can. I know that there's like 3 people, but
I visualize
but it's like
two.
yeah, but or I don't know. However many people. I know the spare K can because he's actually a high IQ Giga Chad, I imagine. I imagine. I never met this guy, but I assume he is.
Get this. I think these are coming along nicely, actually. I'm gonna put these up, stand them up on their bases. Ugh, I'm gonna get myself some water.
We all love water around here.
Ah, I drink that. We got a well that I go and get my water from. I try not to drink
Yeah.
city water.
Oh yeah, dude, that's pretty cool. I have like kind of a 5-gallon jug that I refill at a water station because I'm white and I care about the environment.
I'm not thinking that far. I'm thinking myself, I'll be honest. I'm not
Yeah.
that altruistic.
Oh, yeah. Hey man, that's it's kind of like the way that you see it. Is to go like, hey, like what are like little things that you could do that make you wider and more first world?
Liking this. Put this right
Yeah,
here.
liking Warhammer. I don't know. I think I can confirm that probably like every single like Warhammer guy that you'll ever meet, they're actually like really are pretty epic.
I was
They're
putting this
kind
on
of
the
like these like
screen. It's
kind of
delayed,
like
but you'll see
nerdy
it in a
autistic
second.
black guys. Oh,
Oh
is it
shit.
gonna be an anime girl?
Yes.
Oh, girls in Panzer.
Yes. I just spilt my water. I should die. Oh.
Spare King. I can visualize Yuki Nagato. Dude, so true.
I'm visualizing her taking the mouse in like circles.
Yeah. I recycle even though it's probably gonna end up in a Chinese landfill anyway. Yeah, basically.
That's the most
Well,
white
dude, I
thing
think the
ever.
5-gallon the refillable jug is pretty cool because it's like that's just something that you're just constantly reusing and then you're just not buying water bottles. You're not creating more plastic. You're just using the same piece of plastic again and again and again. So that's like one thing that you could do that actually is like effective. Like actually like throwing like, kind of plastic bottles into like I guess that's like the reuse the reduce part rather than like the recycle part as much. I don't know.
I think, yeah, reusing is probably the best way because then you're not actively, like, reusing yourself, right? Is probably the
Yeah.
best way because you are actively just not participating in buying more plastic, even if it's on an individual level and it doesn't do
Yeah,
much
dude.
on
Well,
scale.
that's
But
actually like a weird autistic thing I think about freaking all the time is I just hate how much plastic is around. You know? It's
yeah,
just like everything comes in
dude,
plastic.
I don't eat things with plastic anymore. I use metal utensils. I use glasses
Yeah.
for water. I eat from not a plastic, a glass bowl or
Oh
whatever
yeah.
it is. It's not plastic
Yeah, like
based.
ceramic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. I try to reduce it as much as I can. Now I got my water jugs, but I don't really want to get a giant jug because that'd be heavy for one, I guess. Maybe that's weak sauce, but it'd also be
Yeah.
expensive. And I feel
Yeah,
like
man, it's just
generally plastic can be okay if you don't put it in the sun. Generally speaking, it can be fine.
oh yeah, because that's where the like the BTC gets like melted or whatever, and then you just you drink it and you literally become gay. That's actually how that works. Granted, I haven't read any of the studies, but I think that's basically how it works.
That makes you think
Just
of like
messes with their hormones.
transgenders who were in Italy because they banned like certain chemicals or whatever they need, or not need, but you know what I mean. Uh, they need to destroy themselves. I'll say that. Uh,
Yeah.
and they were literally taking like plastic bags and melting them down to get the estrogen from them. Like,
I,
that's
I, fr-
insane.
I freaking hate that so much. Dude, I mean that's like something I think about like all the time is what if there's like an advanced alien species that kind of like that just visits Earth and like humanity is like basically extinct, right? It's like the remnants of like an ancient society that used to exist. I mean, a lot of like, a lot of these aliens are gonna like look at individual like things and be perplexed by them. Like, okay, these humans, they knew this, but why were they drinking out of a water bottle that makes them gay? Why would they do that? I mean, they had like kind of a fertility issue. Why are they, why are they drinking out of like utensils that make themselves into trannies and become gay. Why would they do that? Right? You know what I mean? It's like, it'd be like a Blue's Clues mystery for like the for the for the other people, for the like the other kind of like life forms in our universe. It's like they're gonna come across the wreckage of our civilization and wonder what the hell went wrong.
It's true. I'm actually gonna go for a second here.
Yeah, microplastic maxing. Alex Jones was right about frogs. When the gray aliens take over. Yeah. Yeah. Man, Alex Jones is not really a thing anymore. I mean, I remember that was like such a huge thing and back in the kind of the mid 2000s, early 2000s. But now he's just like he just basically doesn't exist. I guess he's kind of doing his own thing. I mean, he's like bald now. And he's like a little bit of a Lobert. Oh, the Nippon girl from Higurashi no Kodo ni. I like that girl. Nippon. In fact, I might put a Nippon in the chat. How about we all Nippon in the chat? There we go. Actually, that's not the correct way of spelling that. Let me fix that.
Okay.
There we go. That's how you actually. Yeah, we're just over here Nipponing.
Nippon.
Nippo. Man, I've been holding off on watching Higurashi no Kodo ni forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have not watched it yet.
It's peak, I'm telling you.
I need to. I need to. But I don't know, but I almost feel like I'm just gonna be thinking of you the entire time because it's like I'm just it's like I see the Nippon girl and I think, oh wow, that's basically Haru.
Ah, dude, yeah, Higurashi has definitely become my favorite anime of all time. I love it so
Yeah.
much. I'd love to watch it
Even
again, honestly, with
even
somebody.
even 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 more than Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie. But Haru is like that's my name for usernames for everything, because my original name was legitimately just Haru Suzumiya on like everything.
Yeah.
But then pivoted to Haru because it sounds vaguely original. And all I did was just take the he off. Like, there you go.
Man, I kind of went through like various different identities. Obviously on the server, you know me as like Monkey Man or Monkey. And I always like had like kind of like the Beast Titan from Attack on Titan is like my profile picture, kind of like the him where he like does like kind of like the creepy little smirk because I just think that that's funny. Right. So I had that like of course I think that's obviously the most iconic one that I have. I have shit that's different for YouTube.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
switch around.
but before then, yeah, but like before then, I actually had like I actually like was a big fan of like Roy Mustang, and I was like, and I basically like that was like a lot of like my profile pictures as well, or specifically one that I used for a long time, where it's like it was like Roy Mustang with like a glass of whiskey, kind of like looking somewhat like kind of melancholic. It was like a yeah, so that was a good one, and that was actually like back when my username was literally the based autist. So
That's nice.
there was that. Uh, I use profile pictures of Violet Evergarden, like back when I used Kick. Yeah, that's
Violet
ask your
Evergarden's
grandparents about
peak
Kick.
too.
It is peak. Let's see.
seen it
Yeah,
twice. First time was a better viewing.
yeah. It's just it's just gorgeous to look at more than anything else. And like I would almost like kind of compare it to like Makoto Shinkai films, where it's like the main thing that you're going to remember from it is not going to be the story; it's going to be the
I don't
animation.
know. I remember that the story somewhat. It is pretty moving a
Yeah,
lot of the
I
time.
did like the story too, but it's like, but kind of like the reason why you watch it is for the animation.
I suppose.
I guess so, or I guess where you kind of you dip your feet into the pool.
Maybe I'm story maxing over here.
I do a
Story
little
and
bit of,
meaning maxing. Get
yeah,
your
I like.
nihilism out of here.
So true.
Morty, Morty.
Morty, Morty.
Nothing matters.
More,
Gay sex.
no, no, time to get swifty. Time to get swifty because nothing matters and you're gonna die and rot in the.
Nothing matters, but if you're intolerant of people, that's evil and horrible.
Yeah, it's basically just yeah.
I love that,
Nothing
isn't it?
matters.
That didn't make so much sense.
Nothing matters, but don't be racist. Don't make racist jokes.
Ever.
Ever.
I believe morality is relative, and you're evil.
Yeah.
And
And
then
I'm
I'm
also
not
like a
evil
big
then.
fan. Yeah, I'm also like a big fan of aborting babies.
How dare you not tolerate that?
Yeah.
Hello, ants. Die.
It's basically just libs in general. It's like nothing matters, but I'm better than you, and I also like killing babies. It's pretty cool.
Actually, you should get a Twitter and just follow me, and that's all you need to do.
Oh, dude, I like went through your timeline the other day, and it was like it was a very epic experience because it's like you're just posting like just pictures of of just cute things. And then occasionally you'll like kind of work in like a little bit of bride napping in there.
I find it incredible. I didn't have it the whole time, but I think I put it in like 7 to 8,000 followers around that time.
Yeah.
So within a few months ago, I think.
Well,
But
dude,
I but
I think it's like I think kind of the thing that I really like about your style of humor is that
mm,
it's very deadpan. It's like
deadpan.
yeah, it's like very deadpan. It's like you'll just like look at a picture of a cat, right? It's like and then you'll just go like, yeah, this cat matters more than the entire population of Burkina Faso. It's like,
I
okay.
I've been most of the time when I say that as well. I'm just mentally checking in my head, like, did I say that one already? I don't even look at a map. I just know. I know. I just know what Africa, the borders and stuff are. Like, that's just memory.
Dude, I'm really autistic to where I can like name every single like African country from memory.
I do that, yeah. Younger me used to just literally stare at maps and memorize that kind of thing.
I would do that too. I feel like we're the same kind of autistic. Right?
I used to be able to
It's
be really
like
good with European capitals. Used to.
I think it might be okay with European capitals. I feel like I get to like a lot of the
Now, like, I could do.
actually I think I could be pretty good.
I got
I
most of
don't
them.
know.
I could probably get good at most of them, or at least half.
I don't know. I think I
I
probably
could match
struggle with
up.
countries like Montenegro, but
Yeah, I could. Sorry, that made me think of a joke. Uh, I can do every single flag, 100%, definitely. Africa's a little more tricky, because some of the African flags are like the same,
yeah, basically.
just different
Uh,
variations
um,
of
Man,
red, yellow,
Mozambique is cool
black,
because they have an
green.
AK-47 on their flag,
It's
which is pretty
true.
funny.
It's true.
Yeah, it just goes like,
It,
hey, what are
I
we
see
about?
that in a
We're
very
about
I see that in a
war.
very similar way of ancient flags with swords. It's just that's their sword. So
Yep, yeah, basically, it actually is like kind of epic because like, hey, what are we about? War. We love
like
war.
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 War. The warfish.
The warfish is like, yeah, it's like basically the entirety of Mozambique is they go like, yeah, we love war. Man, I can name every country in Asia, even like a lot of the central. I could name like the Central Asian countries, which kind of took me a little while,
Those
but
ones yeah, I could probably get them down if I think about it. Some of them
yeah,
I
it's like
might
you
get a
have
little mixed
it's
up.
like you have Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan,
Yeah, I think the issue with me, like
Kazakhstan.
the
I
one
don't know if I'm
area
really
of
saying
the map,
Kazakhstan, but
or areas of the map, I suppose, that I might struggle with will just be islands. Like little islands in the
oh yeah,
Pacific.
like the Pacific Islands, like Tonga
It's
and
hard to,
Marshall
I think,
Islands.
remember them because it's a little more abstract because they're just dots. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like
yeah,
countries,
like
like bigger
Caribbean
countries
islands.
that actually have normal borders have a shape that you can remember.
Yep.
Some island countries, it's just a circle. Like, I can't remember this.
Yeah, like Tuvalu.
Yeah.
I can, yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of them are completely interchangeable with one another too. They have like the same culture,
Only ones I'm
right?
gonna remember are like specific ones, like I don't know, Singapore, because they're, but that's like a very specific example, and they're well known amongst, I would say, right wingers.
oh yeah, because Singapore is extremely cool.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, because it's kind of like a model for making like kind of a multicultural like society actually work.
brute force.
Basically, yeah. It's just you just have to lay down the law so hard that people just don't break the law
El
anymore.
Salvador is with that too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's honestly what we really need to do, right? Because it's like I know it's like a lot of like people like kind of on the dissident right. They almost like kind of hark and go like, oh, if we could have like like a 90% white Texas again, and go like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So you kind of have to just Nayib Bukele it now. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
the only
again,
way to really achieve it.
yeah, and it's like it's like we already like, and we talked about this many a times before. Is that it's like it's something that you kind of really only need to do one time, and then it's basically fixed forever.
In like a
Right? It's like
lifetime, one time,
it'll,
yeah,
like it'll be a
basically.
lifetime. Maybe like 50 or 70 years down the road, it becomes like a little bit of a problem again, and then you have to
Yeah.
crack the whip again. But it's like, but people they it is a vastly it is a small, infinitesimally small group of people that are causing basically all of the problems in society, no matter where you are. And I think El Salvador like literally just proves that because it's like they just did a crackdown and go like, hey, we know who all of these guys are, just throw them all in prison. And they did that, and then they became like the safest country after, right?
Yeah, literally. No, that's quite literally it. It's like a few percentage points of the population that are actually causing all of the problems.
Yeah,
And
it's funny because it's exactly how like a lot of the gotcha market works, right? Because a lot of because how they'll like generate profit is through like the whales or whatever that will just like that will just drop like thousands of dollars like into this app, and that's kind of what props up the app. Kind of in the same way, the proportions are the same for people who commit crime. Like a lot, like the vast majority of like crime that's like committed in society is done by like 100 people.
yes.
Maybe, yeah, maybe maybe
Uh,
extrapolate it a little bit more from that when you take like a big country. But it's like, but it's like you have like a city of like 1,000 people. There are like 3 people doing like 80% of the crime. You just lock up those 3 people, and then you just don't have crime anymore.
Yeah, it's really that
It's
simple.
like
Like it's
that
you don't even
really
need to
is
go that.
how that works, right?
Yeah, like it's really that simple. Like there's only a handful of people actually in partaking in the crime, and if you just get rid of those handful of people, it's kind of just
Yeah.
over after that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like the handful full of people that'll just get arrested like 75, 76, 78 times. Right? And then they just churn them right back out onto the streets because that's just what libs like to do. Right? It's just it's just like I don't know, if we just didn't churn them back on the streets, if we just we just kept and held on to them, just kept them in prison.
it's
It's just
also
you,
it's a woman thing.
you literally just live in a utopian society. It's like your society would basically be perfect.
It's also kind of a
Right?
woman thing as well. Like because
It is a
a lot of women like murderers or are more lenient in general.
well, dude. That's exactly the kind of man. That actually kind of flows beautiful into what we're talking about. Where it's almost like the true crime brain of like a lot of these women that just like evil rapist murderers.
Yep.
It's like a lot of them, they actually have like a fascination with that to the point, like so much of a fascination that they just eventually just end up liking them, just straight up, like unironically, and a lot of those like same people, they become judges, and that's like it's not really like a combination that you want working together, right?
No, not at all.
It's like, it's like you have like you have your judge who basically wants to fuck the evil rapist murderer guy, and then just so she lets the guy go, and then he just does more raping and murdering. Right? That's kind of how that's kind of the reason why like every city in the United States can't be nice is just because judges are horny and they like evil men.
Oh man.
Right?
You always find a way to put it in like a very down to earth kind of explanation, I feel like sometimes.
That's what I like to do, man. Hey, maybe sometimes it can be a simplification, but it's really not that much of a simplification at the end of the day. I mean, there are like true believers in kind of like the libtard way that suggests that everybody just has a freaking like freaking blank slate, and that you could just like fix like people if you just give them enough therapy. There's like libs that are also like that, but there's also like judges that just genuinely want to fuck like these evil rapist guys.
That's true.
you know that just actually is a factor. It's horrifying to think about, but that's more or less how that is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drop that truth bomb, and then I just have like a long period of silence.
I'm
Just let it
somewhat
resonate.
focused as well, but I don't have anything else to
Oh,
really say because it's just true.
oh, spare cake. All the news stories are just woman judge releases super murder 50 felon onto the streets, and his picture just shows him vibrating with hatred and staring blankly with his seppuku eyes, basically.
He's just gonna do it again.
Yeah, he's just literally gonna do it again. I mean, I think it's actually kind of funny when it's like the guy just isn't even repentant, even at like the trial. He can't even like muster it. He just goes like, "Oh no, I literally,
I
I
remember a
really,
scene exactly like that where she's just like, "You're a poor black man, and
Yeah,
you
and
should
then it's like
be
the guy was
like
like
you have
basically
a
telling.
life ahead of you, and he just says like, yeah, I don't care, I'd do it again, and I hate you, you should die, and
Yeah, it's like I hate
yeah,
you. You should suck a dick. I don't care. I don't care about you. I don't care about anyone else around.
she
It's
just
like
keeps
almost like
going with the
verbatim.
drone
It's like almost like
anyway.
verbatim, like almost like verbatim that's what he says. And then he's like that woman judge. I mean, kind of like the black like woman judge. She still felt the need to like cut his sentence in half. It's actual insanity. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
don't know. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like it actually is a sexual thrill with a lot of people. Like it's almost like it's a sexual thrill to just have dangerous cutthroats out on the street that could just kind of just come and rape you at any time. It's almost like exciting for a lot of these people.
Something like
or
that.
or or either that, or a lot of these judges just live in nice gated communities, so it's not really going to have to be their problem to deal with. I mean, they could they could like have this like abstract kind of like libtard philosophy that they'll never actually see the ramifications of because they don't live near it, right? There's
I think
also
it's
that
a
too.
combination of both of those because there will be people who do go through the issues and problems. Like they do have to live with these people, but they still do it anyway. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of both at the same time.
Or hell, it could kind of well, it could be like kind of a combination of the two, where it's like maybe you live in a gated community, but once you kind of like pardon like kind of super murder rapist guy, and you kind of go back to your masturbatorium, right? You can kind of fantasize about what you just did, but of course it's not going to hit you, right? So it's like it doesn't matter anyway. I feel like both can kind of be true at the same time. Funny enough.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of arguments in which people are arguing over whether two things are true when both are true at the same time. So it's like you're
Yeah,
both right.
it's like you give like two different statements that almost would appear to be like kind of contradictory in a way, but it's like no, it's like if you think about it, no, it literally is. Both of those things are happening. It's like it just is, you know. And that's kind of the reason why you just shouldn't have women judges. You just shouldn't. Why are we doing this? I feel like that just shouldn't be like a thing. I mean, I'm not even necessarily one of those guys that like thinks that like you know women, have to just be purely domestic or whatever, but I don't think they need to be judges. I feel like being a judge, it's like you have to have like kind of a willingness to actually put the hammer down, and a lot of women just aren't capable of doing that.
I think that's
You know?
something with one of the reasons why Western society was successful was not oppressing women excessively.
Yeah.
There was a moderate amount of oppression
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
required.
there's kind of like a kind of a Goldilocks zone with it. Yeah, Goldilocks zone with oppressing women. You have to do it a little bit, but you can't do it too much because it's like you kind of like you prevent them from actually being like kind of profitable kind of units of society if you just kind of throw them in a room and then you never do anything with them.
India.
Yeah, basically India. Yeah, it's like you know it's not good to like beat up women, in the Middle East and Islam. It's not good to beat them up because because it's like they're not going to be like super psychologically stable if you do that. And then they're going to raise messed up kids because the wife is battered. It's like
Yeah.
it's like you know, you just you have to do it in like a little bit of a patronizing way that's gentle. Kind of be like a little bit of a gentle sexist,
It's
Just
not
say,
your
hey,
it's like it's not your
you can't
role.
be a judge, but I'll hold the door open for you and pay for your meal. How about that? It's like, just I feel like it's got a nice middle.
No, it's like it's not your role in society to do that. It should be child rearing and taking care of children and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's your domain.
yeah, and and women women secretly want this. They want to be told this, but nobody will tell them that because it's like yeah,
Well, the weird thing is, in the modern society, they don't want to hear that, but they want that. And some of it is also like the messenger. Like a lot of the guys who are saying that are like right winger incels. They don't like right winger incels. So then they reject
yeah,
that message, and then later on
because
they're like, "Oh, they're
yeah,
right."
yeah. I mean, it's like saying the right thing in a way that isn't really tactful, right? It's like it's just it's like say, hey, like a woman should be in the kitchen is not really the same thing as like saying, oh, I think like a woman should,
I don't
be
even think
an
it's just
active and nurturing
tactful.
part
It's
of their
also
of
just the guy. Like they're gonna listen to a more attractive dude say these points. And
oh yeah,
yeah,
there's that too. there
like they're
there
just gonna
absolutely is
listen
that
to
too.
that.
Like if you're like a 6'5" like Giga Chad, right? It's like
I've seen it
like
firsthand where
you can
that sort of
you can
thing
tell women
happens,
that
and
they should
they're like,
just be in the
yeah.
kitchen, and then they'll kind of just like nod their head and go like, yeah, okay, I agree, right? Man, I guess it all really boils down to just being attractive again, because that's what
Yeah.
it always boils down to, right? It's like you get people to just accept things, be nicer to you, and you just get more things by being attractive. Ah, we we really are just monkeys. we we really are just like incredibly sophisticated monkeys, aren't we?
Sometimes.
Ah, women should be shinobi. What the spare cake says. Sinra, yeah, Kagura. I've never heard that. Is that like an anime?
The what?
The Senra Kagura.
I don't
Uh,
recall.
oh, it's a video game series. Okay, I never played any of that. It's a hack and slash title. Pretty cool. Huh. Man, it's gonna be so strange, like looking through the stream and hearing my own voice. Yeah, because like right now, I mean, I have your stream like muted because there's not
Yeah.
really, yeah, your voice. I can hear your voice, but the stream is muted. But I'll probably like go back and like listen to like a little bit of this again to just see how much we ramble.
Oh,
That's
there's
gonna
a
be
good
extreme.
quiet portion. I'm just kind of
It's gonna
painting.
yeah, it's gonna be like extremely meta.
Meta.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you been watching any new anime as of late?
Nothing new, honestly.
Nothing new.
Rewatching, mostly.
Yeah, what are you rewatching?
I was rewatching Doctor Stone, but mostly like I'm not paying attention to it a lot. I'm just kind of watching it with friends while I do something else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know a lot of people that do that. That's not something I like to do, but that's I know a lot of people do that. I mean, I'll do usually when I do anime streams, I kind of like just kind of having groups of people that are invested. and we're all kind of experiencing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, it's more the experience kind of thing, like someone else is there. And so when a crucial point comes up or something, I react with them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading more manga as of late. I've been reading this one called Ichigo Marshmallow, and that one's very cute. It's like kind of like Moe Blob slice of life
Oh, I know what you're
manga.
talking about. Yeah, you sent me stuff about that. There's an anime with that attached. That's cute and funny, I would have to say.
Yeah, it's very cute and funny. Some would perhaps even call it funny. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that, but
I think
some people
many
do.
many would. Many are saying this.
I think many are saying this. But I think it definitely holds true. If something is both cute and funny, then I think it follows that it is in fact cunny.
True.
Yeah.
Wah.
Yeah, but like a lot of it's just like kind of just dumb little gags and just these like kind of like little cute moe girls just being stupid.
I've seen videos of it. Like I've seen clips and such.
There's like an English girl who doesn't speak English, and it's
Yes.
kind of like a recurring joke that she doesn't know English.
So is she's actually an Anglo, but
Yeah, she's actually like an Anglo, right? But she like lived in Japan for so long, she just forgot English, so she just
that
doesn't
is
speak it
that is a
anymore.
weird situation. I know, like it's common for foreigners to live in America or something, and then that happens to them.
Well, dude, what a lot of times what happens is that you'll have like parents that will like move over from Mexico. They speak Spanish, but whenever they raise their children, they just don't teach their children Spanish. So it's like the next generation, they just know English. That's actually like remarkably common for some reason. Which I actually don't even really understand that. I mean, I
I
guess it's
I
integration
think yeah,
and
it's integration.
assimilation.
I think it's just some of it, yeah, it is integration. Some of it's practical, I guess. Like you're just everybody speaking two languages at once is kind of annoying or something.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you kind of have like two parents working or what. I mean, it's just kind of a hassle to like actually like teach your children Spanish. But I don't know. It seems like one of those things that's kind of just silly to admit when it's like when you could like just when there's like a large section of the world that speaks Spanish and you could like do a little bit of cool traveling if you know Spanish. I don't know. I feel like it's
I
just
think
nice to know a second
that's
language.
I think you're thinking a lot about it, and most people don't think about it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's I guess that's kind of how it always boils down is that no,
People
people don't think about it this deeply.
people
They
just
just don't
don't
want to
plan
do
out.
it. They just don't do
That's
it.
like something I want to learn.
They
Yeah,
don't
I
even
want to.
think about it. They just don't do it.
That's like that's part of the. I was thinking like I was talking about the max like looks maxing or whatever or like diet maxing whatever. Too many maxing. I kind of hate that word. Uh,
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb gay trend, isn't it?
it gets across
Everything
the
has to be
point though.
maxing.
It gets across the point. But what I was getting at is like maximizing your child's childhood to get them as many skills as possible in an organic way and or just be more well functioning and more attractive when they get older. And one of those things is like languages. Like I've heard of where the father will speak one language exclusively and then the mother will speak one language exclusively, and so the child learns two languages when they leave the household.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I would be inclined to do.
I feel like there's just a lot of things like that you could just do to make sure they learn stuff like that.
Yep.
Anything else? Oh, there's ropes.
Yeah, well, there's like some of those like extremely rich parents that will like actually have like tutors, like teach like their children like 17 different languages so that they're multilingual.
That's
They
like
just have like they just have like an obscene amount of money to throw, so they just have like different language tutors for like French, Spanish, and Italian.
at that point you got so much money anyway. Like you can pull off so much stuff if you care. Like
There's like so many vanity projects that you could dump just dump your money into, and it's just gonna be fine.
yeah,
You know?
that's why
It's
I'm
like, hey,
like
do you need to like learn Icelandic? No, but like, is it cool to know Icelandic? Yes.
you're learning Latin.
You're learning Latin, and they're like, why?
It's
Because it would be cool.
You'll appreciate it later.
Yeah, you'll appreciate it
You know what?
later.
I
You'll
probably
be,
would appreciate it later.
ah, dude, I would feel so badass if I knew Latin.
I remember buying a lot of the Latin stuff actually. Like I got a book for it on some videos or whatever. I just could never get into it.
I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool if like Latin was like a lingua franca.
Kind of is.
I mean, I guess it was at one point, but it's been replaced with English, which, eh. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that we have like our hegemony across the world, but you know,
The language you'll hear the most about criticizing America is English,
yeah,
and
basically,
it's there
that
as a
is how that works.
flex.
Because it's almost like a twin dynasty. Because even before America, it was like Great Britain,
Two
right? And they,
English-speaking superpowers in a row.
yeah, basically, it just ensures that people are just going to be speaking English forever.
That's something I'm kind of curious about. Is like, will that be a thing in the future? Like people treat English like a dead language, and it's just some new weird language that emerges. And so like English will be like Latin.
Dude, spare cake, that is so freaking true. All Japanese should learn all like Americans should learn Japanese, the language of our greatest ally.
I want to learn Japanese, honestly. I do.
Yeah, Japanese is incredibly based. It's a beautiful language. Yeah, because not all Asian languages actually are beautiful. Like Japanese is beautiful, so is Korean. Mandarin Chinese is actually pretty harsh.
I like the way it looks. And sometimes the way it sounds is funny.
Oh yeah, well everybody likes the way it looks, but it's just kind of a very like, but the way it sounds is actually kind of rigid.
Ja 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 ja
It's like
ja.
it's like show swaying for sway. Yeah, it's like just stuff like that. It's just like it's like it and it's like Cantonese. It's like it's almost like even worse because it's bouncy. It's bouncier.
Yes.
And and then it's like Thai, like Lao, and like Vietnamese. It's like basically that, but even more so. It's like it's just like just as like bouncy.
Also, English localizers need to lose their jobs.
It's actually kind of the one thing that would be cool about just using AI to do, because it's just like, because AI would just be completely objective. Like, hey, like like some put this in like a way that like without like losing the original meaning, just translate it directly, and then you could basically just
Yeah, honestly, it's to that point where like AI might be preferable even if you might just test it is just because localizers are so awful and biased.
oh yeah, because I don't know. I mean, you could give AI certain criterias, like, hey, like conform to like Japanese like standards entirely, and just frame it in a way that would make sense. And well, you know what I miss? I miss translators notes. That should make a comeback.
Oh, I got a phone
Translators notes
call.
are not really a thing anymore, and they should be. I like whenever like you know like Osaka says, Santa Angagi, that there'd be like a translator's note, like in the top that tells you what a Santa Angagi is. You know?
Oh, sure. Sorry, somebody. I'm getting messages in my phone. Ugh. How long have I been even streaming for?
Man, we've been gone for a couple hours.
Let me see here. 3 hours ago. I think I'm not finished with these cultists. I'll definitely finish them tonight, I think. But I think I'm gonna be done. Ugh. I like
Hey
this.
man, I think we discussed a lot of important things. We hung out with with our patriot freaking despair cake. Hey, our Yuki Nagato patriot.
True.
Yeah, we like despair cake around here.
Alright. I'm gonna end.
Right.
Let me
Bye
see here.
knee.
End YouTube stream first. And then end the Twitter stream.